Hello! Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to a new video. Okay, it's Pride Month. Happy Pride. Good to be here. If you guys don't know, I'm a gay. And a lot of times, and do I mean a lot, do I get asked, Bolt, how do you come out? How'd you come out? And I've always kind of dodged this question because it's a big fucking story. But let me finally kind of tell you guys about it because it's a fucking mess, alright? It's a mess. So, here we go. I realized I was gay. I'm just gonna jump right into it, by the way. I was making another video and it didn't work out too well. As you can fucking see, I'm holding clay. Let's start off from the beginning. I realized I was gay in about 8th grade. At that time I had joined the furry fandom, and I was in roleplay groups and chats, and I would roleplay gay shit, and that's when I definitely knew, oh shit, I'm a gay. And, you guys don't know, I moved to the South, because my entire family is from the South. So, my little 8th grade brain assumed that, my entire family hated the gays. So I assumed, which I shouldn't have never done. I assumed that my entire family hated me. Like they hated my choice. Not my choice, but like they hated me being a gay, okay? Also, just disclaimer, I'm gonna be all over the place in this video because it's kind of a sensitive topic for me. So yeah, okay. So 9th grade comes around and I am very depressed. I don't really address this much online, but I used to be suicidal. I used to be depressed. I used to cut my wrist. I have a few scars on my wrist still. I have a few scars on my arm still. Nothing too serious, but every so often I'll look down and be like, oh shit, there it is. It'll catch the light and I'll be like, motherfucker. Actually, someone at a convention had brought that up once. I was at a convention, they were like, Bolt, are you good? And I was like, yo, this is from like years ago. Also, again, another disclaimer. This happened 6 years ago, maybe. This has been a while. I really am not hurt by it anymore. It's more of a learning experience from me, so please don't think that I'm like depressed as I'm wearing a shirt that says dead inside. No! I was very suicidal and depressed in 9th grade. I'm sorry, it's 9th grade, not 8th. And I never really talked to anyone about it. I kind of just kept to myself. And it was all because I felt like my family hated me for something I couldn't choose, which was being gay. And I never really talked to them about it, which is my mistake. I just kind of assumed, oh, they're from the South, they must hate the gays. I'm the gays, they hate me. That was my thought process. I was just super stressed about it, and I just never really wanted to talk to anyone about it. So, back to the main topic of the story, how did I come out? The main way I came out was that I didn't. I never personally told my parents that I was gay. So, what happened was, this is disclaimer, you guys, I'm going to be talking about suicide and depression and stuff. So, back in 9th grade, I had a plan to kill myself in school. I had a full-out plan, I had a list, I had a set time, I had a set everything, and I went into school thinking I would not come home alive. I had a plan. I remember I told one person, a friend I don't really have anymore, but I still love them for this. I told my friend, and my friend told the school. And I also had left a suicide note. I had, I think like 6 or so suicide letters in my room, back in my house, that were like directed towards like my family, like my friends or whatever. And I had left one for a teacher, being like, hey teacher, you were pretty fucking cool. And I guarantee you, he's one of the people who told the school. So, yeah, I went to school that day, and I had math, first period, and I sat in like the front because I'm fucking an idiot. I remember the first bell rings, and the principal, the vice principal, and two police officers, I'm sorry, walk into the room and they're like, "Hey, how are you? We need Bolt." And I'm just like, shit, because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So my professor is like, "All right, you can get your stuff and go with them." And all the class does the ooh thing, and that made me want to fucking kill myself even more because that's so much attention. Also, if you guys didn't know, I was bullied in high school. No one really liked me except for my little friend group. I wasn't like torrential bullying. Like, people didn't walk up to me and be like, "You're a faggot," or something like that. People just didn't like me. I was never picked for nothing. I'm saying it like I care now. I really don't. But at the time, it hurt like a motherfucker to be picked last. Just because it kind of ensured in my brain that no one fucking wanted me, you know? So basically, I'm walking down the hallways. I have the vice principal talking to me. She's like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm doing okay." And I know that everyone knows what's going down. And I know I left the math classroom, walked to the right, and then there's a staircase. I get to the bottom of the staircase, and there are fucking security guards at every door, just standing there. We get down to the guidance office, I think it's what it was called, yeah. And my guidance counselor sits down with like two other guidance counselors, and they're like, "So we know what was gonna go down today, you know?" And I was like, "Yeah, I get it." And they made me talk to them about why I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I told them because I was gay. I told them because no one liked me. I told them because I was a fucking outcast in school. I told them all these reasons that now I see as fucking irrelevant. I talked to them for about 2 hours, and then the guidance counselor says, "All right, we're gonna have to call your parents." And I begged with them. I was like, "Please do not call them. I swear to God, I'm gonna be fine." And they said no. For my own safety, I was now a liability to them. And I was not, they knew I wasn't safe, because in all honesty, if they had let me go that day, I would have 1000% gone home and killed myself. Because it just felt so fucking bad. Like, everything that went on that day so far, it was only like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I probably got guidance at 9. No, I got to guidance at 7:45, I think first period started. So I had been there for like 2.5 hours. And I already wanted to fucking die. Everything was going terribly. They called my parents. And my parents come in, and I sit in the guidance hallway. And my parents go in. Both of them, they both were off that day, of course. And my guidance counselor tells them that I want to kill myself because I'm gay. So I never really came out to my parents. The guidance counselor did that for me. And that's also why I never really addressed how I came out, because I never really did come out to my parents. They were forced to know because I tried to fucking kill myself because I'm the worst. My parents found out the news that I had a plan to kill myself. And the school had instructed them that I needed to go into, what is it called? Psychiatric. I had to go under a psychiatric review, I think. I had to go to the hospital. So basically, it was I remember this moment vividly. I was escorted out of the school by security and my parents during switching period. And if you guys don't know, yeah, you guys fucking know, you guys are in school. Switching period is when kids are going from one class to another, a 4-minute gap or something like that. And I just remember vividly being escorted, like, literally they were like basically grabbing my arms and they walked me outside of the school. And I remember there were still police officers outside. And everyone was like, "Yo, what's going down?" I remember people, when I got back, a month or 2 later, people were like, "What happened?" Like, people were confused and talking about it because why is the quiet gay kid being escorted out of the school? Basically restricted. Like, what's going on? And, yeah. I remember I had to go to the hospital. And the hospital was the worst time of my life. I remember it vividly. So if you guys didn't know, back in my scene days, I was a sceenie weenie and wore bracelets up to here. And I wore them up to there to cover up all the scars on my wrist and all the slits and shit. And, well, my voice just kind of juttered. I'm not really sad about this anymore, by the way, guys. I'm very over this situation. I just want to let you guys know about it because it no longer affects me. But I had to go into solitary confinement. because I basically had a plan to kill myself. I was set on ending my life. So for my own safety, I was put in solitary confinement. So basically what they did is they stripped me down of everything. They put me in my underwear and a hospital gown. And I sat in solitary confinement, I believe it was. And basically what that is, it was like in the basement of the hospital. You would go through one door. It was like it looked like from a spaceship, a sliding door. And then inside of that sliding door was another fucking door. And then inside of there, it looked like jail. It was all white. And the doors were like this thick. And it had like a little peephole like that big. And it had a safe code. And you would open it. It kind of reminds you of like a vault. And inside of the room was a bed, a hospital bed. Not a hospital bed. It was like, you know the beds you get when you're at the doctor's office? Like the really fake looking beds? Excuse me. Yeah, it was one of those. And there was a TV that was built into the wall. And all that played on that fucking TV was Martha Speaks, you know, that show about a dog eating cereal and they can talk. I watched that for I think 11 hours I was in there. I got out at like 10, but I'll explain that later. So, I was sitting there, just fucking fresh scars on my wrist, embarrassed with my mom, because now she knows everything. I told my guidance counselor everything, and now she knows everything. So, I talked to my parents, and I found out that they fucking didn't care that I was gay. They loved me no matter what. And like I said, I assumed they would hate me because they're from the South. And of course, I didn't know this. Well, I probably did. I'm just probably a fucking idiot. But like a majority of my family is gay. So like, I don't know what ran through my mind thinking that they wouldn't love me, because a good portion of my family is of the gay. So yeah, I remember solitary confinement being really horrible. I had to see multiple doctors, and I had to tell them all like why I wanted to kill myself, and why I wanted to do this, why I had slits in my wrist, and why this, that, whatever. And eventually, I had to be admitted into a hospital. I remember vividly for dinner, I had steak, mashed potatoes, and green beans, but I wasn't allowed to have a fork or a knife. So all I had was a spoon to eat steak, and I was like, what the fuck? So 10 o'clock rolls around, and I am transported to a mental hospital where I'm going to review I'm going to get one more evaluation to see if I need to stay in a hospital overnight. Like a hospital for my safety. What are they called? Mental institutions or some shit like that. It was called South Oaks, and I remember I went there, and I had to be transported there by ambulance. And I remember I turned on my phone and I called my friends, and all of them, literally all of them, were hysterically fucking crying because I don't think most of them knew. Well, they knew I was depressed, but they never knew I had a plan to kill myself. So yeah, they all were really upset. But they loved me, and it was the best. I don't talk to a lot of them anymore, I really don't. But it still at the time was amazing knowing that people cared. And it really kind of sucked. Knowing like I could have affected so many people by killing myself. And yeah, it was the worst. I think I was on my envy too. That day is like engraved in my mind. It's November 27th, I believe it was. But yeah, so I remember I got to the mental hospital and I did one more evaluation, and I was deemed not sick enough to have to be admitted there full time, but I was a part-time patient for 2 years or a year and a half, something like that. So basically a full-time patient would have to live there. I was a part-time patient, and at the very beginning I had to go every other day for group therapy, where I would talk about my feelings. But I remember the worst part about all of this is that I was not allowed back into school for 2 months until I was medically approved I wasn't a liability anymore. Because since I wanted to kill myself on school property, I was a liability. So I had to convince doctors that I was fine, and after like 2 months I was deemed okay. In like 4 years probably, I've not cut myself since 10th grade. So, I mean, that's how I came out, you guys. Fun fact. But the main point of this video is that, guys, talk to people about your issues. I resorted to killing myself because I was afraid of what people would think of me for talking about my issues. And I learned that people cared about me. I tried to kill myself over such a stupid fucking reason. People supported me. I just never wanted to talk to them about it. I regret doing that. I regret ever fucking putting a blade to my skin and going up and down. I regret having a plan to go to the bathroom and hang myself. Like, I regret so much of my teenage years because I spent them fucking depressed. Yeah, it was just a mess. Wow. Like now, if I look at it now, I want to tell myself that I'm a fucking idiot. Because I had so many people that loved me. I had so many people that cared. And unfortunately, I was too stubborn to reach out to those people and tell them how I felt. Because I didn't accept myself. I didn't love myself. And for that reason, I tried to kill myself. However, if you flip the page to the year 2018, what's today? June 4th. I fucking love myself, yo. If I had killed myself, none of this would be a thing. I would have never experienced graduating high school. I would have never experienced fucking acid for the first time. I would have never experienced so many life events that I love today. I love being alive. I know I always make jokes about me wanting to fucking die. But the truth is, I love life, okay? You gotta love life. I get DMs sometimes that say, hey, Bo, I'm depressed. What do I do? If I were to give anyone any advice if they're depressed from someone who used to be fucking a suicidal mess, is that people fucking care about you, okay? You need to reach out and talk to those people. Because I never would have imagined I'd be where I am right now back in 9th grade. I thought my life was shit. But high school is shit, okay? High school is nothing compared to the real world. If I knew that my voice would be heard by 25,000 people, random people scattered over the earth, if I knew that I would have so much fun later in life wearing a fucking dog mask, that thought would have never crossed my mind. Because, yes, this is fucking weird, but this shit makes me so happy. It makes me so happy to be able to sit down and just talk to you guys in a dog costume. And you guys enjoy it. Like, that's so fucking weird. I don't know. Life is a fucking mess, but you gotta love every minute of it, okay? Anyway, that's the end of the video. Happy Pride Month, you guys. I'm sorry this video is kind of a downer. It's just a story time. It's kind of a story time. I never really thought I'd get off my chest. I never really talk about, but it's out there. There you go. I make new videos whenever. I'm also not gonna put ads on this video. This is a very serious video, so no ads, no ads. If any of you guys are suicidal or depressed, here's a few numbers you can contact just to talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to call these numbers. They're 100% confidential. Just reach out to someone and talk about your issues. Because if you hold up all that fucking anger and all that fucking sadness, it's gonna end in fucking terrible, terrible results, okay? You are loved. I love you. Mwah. Alright, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.